let's see how we can create a rubric on chalk for the marking of our assessment tasks. So, as per normal, I've set up a due work component. I've called it the Year 9 Depth Study. It's an assessment task. And the same as usual, put your submissions. So we'll take multiple submissions, our dates, and then here's where it changes a little bit from what we've normally done. So we're going to change the mark type to total mark because that's what we're using anyway. And we're going to click to use the rubric. And you'll see now what happens is that we are asked to put in our outcomes and our indicators and our levels for this particular rubric. I'm going to change that also to a total mark, and I'm going to change this to mark range. Now that allows me to have a range of marks for a particular indicator. So for example, if it was sound, we might have a mark range of between 3 and 5, and I'll be able to choose whether that indicator gets 3, 4, or 5 marks. Now we need to set up our indicators and our outcomes and our level names, which we are going to draw directly from the rubric that we already have. And there's a bit of cutting and pasting involved here. So first thing I'm going to do is select my first outcome. And you'll see here it is, this outcome here has 3 different indicators. One there, this is an indicator of that outcome. This is an indicator of that outcome. And here's another indicator of that particular outcome. And these are the levels at which a student will achieve. Now I'm going to move down to this outcome here, as it allows me to show how the different range of marks work. So firstly, I'm going to copy and paste this this outcome, and paste that in to my first outcome and enter it. Now I need to add the indicator. So I'll go back to that particular document, and here is the indicator of it. Copy it and paste. Now, as that indicator has several outcomes, outcome has several indicators, I could just copy and paste those other indicators and paste them in. So here, type a new indicator, and I'll paste that there. Now, I need to select both of these indicators for the rubric to total them and compile them in the marks. But if I didn't want to use these, I could untick them, and I can also change the order so they match what's on the rubric. Now I'm going to put in my level names, which was basic, sound, thorough, and extensive. And I can move these around, so I could have the highest order level at this end just by pressing these arrows, but I like to go in an ascending order, and I can also add other levels as well. Alright, so now I've got these, I now need to put in how they're going to achieve at this particular indicator. So let's go back to our document, and I'm going to use this one right here. And now I'm just going to do some pasting. And I remember that was worth 1 mark. Now this one here has a maximum of 3 marks. And that's the mark that I put in for the points. Put in the maximum allowable mark, which is 3. This one here has a maximum of 5 allowable marks. Change that to 5, and last one has a maximum of 6, and I'll paste that in there and change that to 6. Alright, so now I have created my outcome, my indicator, and the levels at which students will achieve. I'm going to untick this for the moment so it doesn't appear. And you can see there the maximum marks for that outcome is 6, which is what we put there. If I had another indicator in here for that outcome, and the maximum that they could achieve for that outcome was 5, this would now change to 11. And then I create my rubric. And just finally, having created our rubric, we can now export it to other classes. So all I need to do is go into modify my rubric, scroll down, and download the rubric as a CSV file. I'll locate that in my Finders folder, and here it is right here. Just move that across. And if this was a different class, all I would do would be to drag it down into there, and it would then upload this rubric. So you see I'd created one earlier, and it's now uploaded the entire rubric for that particular task, not these two ones because I haven't chosen them. Update, and go and check the rubric, and you can see now it's updated the entire rubric for that particular assessment task. And that's all you need to do.